Call to order Benton City Council meeting, April 2nd, 2024. We'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Zach, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I do a roll call, I would like to excuse Jose if somebody could do that, but also Carla is in Spokane with her stepdad who is having medical issues, and we don't have an update on that. I don't know if she's going to be online or not, so I'd like to do roll call.
Councilwoman Wadsworth,
Here.
Councilman Sandretto, Councilman Reed,
Present.
Councilwoman Alcazar,
Alcazar.
Alcazar,
I'm here.
Councilman Valencia. Both excused.
Make a motion to excuse Sandretto and Villains. Sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, aye.
Motion passes. Consent agenda. Are there any discussions on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda. I second.
All in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, aye.
Motion passes. Okay. We have a proclamation for, no, let me back up for that. Would like to confirm some new city employees. I'd like to have Zach, if you can come up and introduce yourself, and Zach is coming on as our new building inspector. He's fully ICC certified. The only thing he's not certified on is all of his commercial, and we'll probably get there, but he can handle all the residential.
Hi, everybody. My name is Zach Brindle. Like Lynn said, I'm going to be your new building inspector. Excited to join the team. I've been in construction for about 15 years, kind of all I've ever known for my adult life. Jumped into the inspection side of it a few years back, and I'm excited to jump on board and make it official.
Hey, thank you. Any questions?
Done.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank you.
Then we have Mr. Garrett. You wanna, there's an Elspa? Elspa. He's coming on as our summer hire for the the Parks Department, I'd call it better. Okay.
I'm Garrett Osbar. I've been trying to see my life and everything. Last just about 4 years, been doing lawn care, lawn maintenance and stuff. Local out in Benton City the last 2 years now. Just wanted to be able to come out and help out with the park and be local.
And I understand you have your applicators license.
Yes.
You have any questions for Garrett?
No. Perfect.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe you're gonna take a vote on them real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna make the motion.
Real quick. Both of them.
Separate, please.
No, we have to do separate, okay.
All right, I move to approve the confirmation of Zach Prindle. Did I say it right? As a building inspector for the city of Benton City.
Second. You're next.
All in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, aye.
Thank you. Confirmation of Garrett.
I move to approve the confirmation of Garrett Allspaw as summer hire for the city of Benton City.
Second.
All in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, aye.
Passes. Thank you. Welcome aboard, Garrett.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming. We have a resolution, a proclamation for Public Service Recognition Week before the council consideration. Any questions? We have a representative here if you want to ask him some questions.
Speech?
You want to hear me speak?
It's up to you.
Um,
If you want to come up to the microphone and introduce
Absolutely.
yourself. then-
Absolutely. Mr. Mayor, honorable members of the council, my name is Bill Copeland, and I'm a part of the Public Service Recognition Week Planning Committee. The Public Service Recognition Week has been recognized nationally since 1984. It's a time that we celebrate the fantastic work that your public servants, including these two new that you just brought in tonight, are doing to keep our communities clean and safe and keep our citizens in good stead. And we've been celebrating this here in the Tri-Cities since 2006. So our event this year will be May the 9th, 5:30 p.m. That's a Thursday at the Giza Carousel of Dreams. We'll have a good family barbecue and pre-carousel rides for the kids. And we hope that your public service workers will come and join us and bask in the recognition that they so deserve. Do you have any questions?
I knew there was a speech in there somewhere.
I tried to pull one out. I thought I was going to dance on the table.
We'll stop with the speech.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Clearly you two know each
Bill and I
other.
go back, what, 20 some odd years.
Clearly.
On that note, before dancing starts, I move to approve resolution 2024-34, authorizing adoption of the proclamation of the city council for the mayor of Benton City, Washington, proclaiming the week of May 5th, 2024 through May 11th, 2024 as National Public Works Week.
I second.
All in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Aquastar, aye.
Motion passes. Do we have any visitors who would like to make comments?
Yes,
Yes.
Go ahead, Dan.
can you hear me?
Yes.
This fee schedule you're looking at. I pray to God somebody takes a better look at this than whoever put it together, because this is disgusting. I don't know, somebody got out partying and got drunk when they put this thing together. I don't know. This is horrible. I'm asking you guys to put a stop to this tonight and reevaluate this thing, because this is just untenable. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed to even read the stupid thing.
Mr. Decker, can you do the council and the mayor a favor?
What?
In email form, can you list out any objections you have? It would help us clarify big problems with.
Let me ask you this, Bill. Have you guys looked at the fee schedule?
Yes,
That thing's all over the place. I don't understand some of this stuff, 30% raise, 100% raise, 200% raise. I don't understand the rationale behind this. I mean, I don't have it. Trust me, Bill, I don't have a problem telling you what I think of it, but if somebody wants, how about this? Somebody from the city provides some justification for or some rationale why the increase on some of this stuff. It's ridiculous. I know you can't answer that tonight. I understand that, but I'll try and put something together for you, Bill. I'll go through it piece by piece, and I'll list my objections. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to Len. But this is insane.
Okay, this is an agenda item, Dan. If you have more comments, can you save it till when we discuss it on the agenda, please?
Absolutely. So thank you for your time.
Okay. Staff reports.
Mayor Burton,
Yes.
before you continue, I apologize. I had trouble getting on the Zoom call, but I was wondering if it's too late to add something for an item for discussion regarding the splash pad park application. Requesting some clarification and want to provide additional information on that.
Okay, we'll add that under new business.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Nathan. Okay, anything else?
Not on my end.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan. Treasurer's report is in the packet. I apologize, Carla's not here to go through it, but it's the quarterly financial report that we're supposed to turn to the council quarterly for review. Summer program, do we have anybody here from the summer program? No. Code enforcement.
Good evening, Jenny McCombs, Code Enforcement Animal Control for City of Benton City. So this is February 1st through March 31st. Public contacts was 588. That's in-person emails and the phone. Notice to comply, warnings, violations, animal control is 19. Stop work orders was 3. Junk vehicles 7. Weeds, trash, or debris 12. RV, trailers, boats is 7. Noise nuisances 8. Most of those are barking dogs. Impounded animals was 10. There was 1 neglect cruelty case, 2 transfers to rescues, 6 welfare checks, 2 adoptions, 5 return to owners, and 4 DOAs. Graffiti abatement was 4. Permits issued was 66. There was 10 new single-family residences issued, 1 new commercial building, 3 right-of-way alterations, 1 manufactured home placement, 3 accessory buildings, including garages, 10 curb alterations, 2 new fences, 2 HVACs, water heater, 1 reside, 13 new city sewer connections, and 12 new city water connections, and 8 fire inspections. Inspection schedules was 131 for that time frame. Does anybody have any questions or concerns?
No, how did you do it all?
I know, I was gonna say, take a vacation.
Well, it's as always a pleasure working for you,
Thank
the
you.
city. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. You do awesome. Is appreciated. Chamber of Commerce.
Hi guys, I'm Shara. I'm the president for the Chamber of Commerce. Just kind of wanted to go over all the exciting stuff that's been happening. We been working on our membership drive. You can see down here, it says that we have 80 current business and 6 associates. That has gone up since I sent this over to Carla. So we've got 84 now, which is pretty awesome. We just had our Easter event, which turned out great. We had more eggs than on here because people brought stuff the last minute. I think we had over 8,000 eggs. We are working on the scholarships right now for the high school. We were able to do 3 $1,000 scholarships there with donations and help from the community. So that's another great thing. We're waiting until April 25th and they should be turned in, and we have our scholarship committee that will be picking those kids. We have a couple of ribbon cuttings that'll be happening. Badger Canyon RV, they just sent me over their paperwork. So we'll be doing theirs on May 1st, and I will make sure that you guys get all that to be there for that. We're still waiting for the wine bar to give me a name. I'm not sure what that's going to be. They've got 2 and they're going back and forth on it. So as soon as they do that, we'll plan theirs. We went to the Small Business Resource Fair on March 6th and it was awesome. So we're working with Rick Penstra from the Tri-Cities Regional Chamber to bring this kind of event to the city here. Working with the Tri-Cities Hispanic Chamber to also bring that over. Workforce Development Council, and they're just trying to, get different grants out here for the newer businesses that are coming in. So they've got quite a bit to give away. And I don't think a lot of people know about those resources. So we're trying to bring that out here for everyone. Also, we're working with Cindy Jackson, the newspaper. I don't know if you guys have seen that back in print lately. She's been awesome. She's helping out. We're doing business features on the website. So the businesses that we're featuring will be featured in the newspaper as well. This month we had Belterre Lavender and BC Spa. So they've been doing quite a bit of exciting things. So if you guys haven't checked it out on the website yet, you should go check it out. You can see on here, we've got some changes to our board. We just brought on Bill Crow as our vice president, which is great because he works with the local wineries. We're going to be trying to do a little wine tasting of the local Benton City wineries to do something for the spring or next spring, depending on how much we can get together. And we do have a few upcoming events here. Mother's Day tea is coming up, movies in the park. Yard sale is in June. 4th of July, we just found out some exciting news. We're gonna be working with the Lions Club to do a community kickball tournament on that day so that we can try and get more people to come out to the Lions Club. We'll have food trucks and some bounce houses just to try to get people to spend more time in the park and hanging out in that area. And yeah, you guys can see what I sent over. We just got some of our flyers that are going out, and I think movies in the park's gonna be super great this year. We've got some really good movies and a lot of people are excited about it. So do you guys have any questions for us?
Congratulations on Bill.
Yeah,
He's a
he's
good man.
great. Yeah, he's really,
He's a good man.
yeah. So
Thank you for all your hard work.
it's so fun. I love it. So thank you guys.
Appreciate it. I know nothing for a public hearing. Let's go down, people down the list. Sorry
Council.
about that. Council committee meeting reports.
I just know that the Benton County Mosquito Control will be having their tire drive sometime this month. I don't want to give a sad date. I can look that up real fast, but that's a good opportunity if you have any spare tires to recycle them so the mosquitoes don't breed in them and try to maintain the limit of West Nile.
I got to attend the Benton County Emergency Services Board meeting and the Columbia Generating Station FEMA exercise. Very impressive. They had a big scenario of energy release from the generating station and how they would act not only in the short term, but the long term on how to respond to that type of emergency. A lot of it was over agriculture. With the release, obviously, the contamination gets into the agriculture around the area. There was a big study and an information release on how the federal government would step in and help that commerce with that agriculture and transportation and stuff. So that was about a 3-4 day event. Got to sit in on the 3rd and 4th day to get to kind of see what was going on. Other than that, one of the big things that we're trying to publicize is the non-emergency number for dispatch. It has not changed, 628-0333. There's a lot of people that think that that's a voicemail. It is not a voicemail. You have to listen to it for about 15 seconds and then they'll give you number prompts to who to talk to. So that number's still in service. They just streamlined the system. That's all I have for that.
Thank you.
I went to the Coyote Irrigation District meeting. There had been rumors going around and it had been posted on Facebook that they were turning their water on April 1st. That was not the case. Their water actually for Coyote will be turned on Monday on the 8th. Divers went down. They were not scheduled to come in. There were some scheduling conflicts, and so they were not scheduled to come in till this past Friday, and they didn't want to say it was going to be on the 1st in case there was a problem. And I don't know all the details, but I do know there was a problem. So they've had to come back a couple times to fix some things. So I don't know, but it's set to come on the 8th.
Awesome.
And it's April 20th from 7 a.m. to 3. So you're for the tire drive.
Okay, April 20th, that's a Saturday.
Yeah.
And then-
Saturday, yeah,
And then Mayor, you were gonna follow through with the lift station 5 location and make sure all that was taken care of. Everybody was on board and made whole.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. I met with the Benton City Revitalization Group. We did a highway cleanup here one of the 2 last Saturdays. I can't remember which one. I know it rained a lot, we got wet. We have a Benton City cleanup days coming up on April 27th. The other meeting I've done is I had a meeting today for a couple of hours with Representative Newhouse, talking about some things. Fortunately, he's a friend.
Wow.
So we talked about some things and things that we can do and mutual things. He also told me that we have the one application since the last council meeting that we submitted for a grant to fund a new city hall with Cantwell. He said he has the same opportunity coming up, and he encouraged me to double apply in case we get turned down on one of them. We still have another shot, and he said there'll be a short window. He'll let me know when that's available. And some other discussion, other noteworthy item on Thursday, Mr. Sandretto, Mr. Reed and I met with Department of Ecology, had a very interesting meeting, very informative. And we'll probably be talking more about what we learned there. It's all good. I know of no public hearings, items for approval. We have first of all, we have resolution 2425 on the city fee schedule. And part of that is going to adapt. It's set up so it'll adapt into our new works software fairly easy in tracking the billing of items also. Carla's not here to comment on that, but it will adapt in and track very well in that system and allow a lot of the fees to be collected when we're receiving permits. The permit process will go online and the fees will be paid online.
So one of the things that, if I may,
Mhm.
Mr. Mayor, the only thing that I wanted to just make sure council is aware of is that I know the mayor's been needing to get moving on this, and that's something that we certainly want to be responsive to. One of the concerns I have is that obviously there's a lot of items in here, and I know that Mayor and I'm not as familiar with this as you and Dan. I know because you guys talked about it quite a bit more than I did. But anyway, I just want to make sure that it's clear that cities have broad authority to adopt fee schedules. Obviously, there are some kind of, depending on the types of fees, that there are some kind of statutory limitations related to some of these. I know this is a lot, but I do want to be frank and make sure that council understands that I'm not totally sure on all of the different cross references to make sure that we're in good shape. And I know the mayor and you and Dan have worked to pull these from other locations and things. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I do have a little bit of a concern about understanding. I know that there's some need to get these fees in place as soon as possible. But just from a legal standpoint, at this point, I don't think I would be able to say that I know beyond a shadow of doubt that we're in good shape with all the fees and all the other connections that are going to be required to make sure that we're in compliance with those. So for example, like a lot of the fees, you'll see many of the fees that are cross-referenced with other code sections. And so it's a lot, and I know that it needs to happen sooner rather than later from the mayor's perspective. And I certainly understand that and don't want to be unsympathetic to that. But at the same time, there's a lot here, and we tried our best to draft it in a way that we have to show what the fee was and then what the fee is proposed as, and then if it's new. So anyway, long and short of it is I'm just taking a long way to tell you, I haven't had a chance to vet all the particular fees and make sure that we're in good shape. But Mayor, you may know more about that, and I don't want to.
I can't say we're 100% okay either.
Right.
But we need, the revenue side of the equation is critical. The one fees that we did not address in there were the water and sewer fees and the connection fees. And once we have the rate study results done in May, we're gonna have to come back and visit those and make sure we're compliant with state statutes.
Sure. Yeah, and just so everybody knows, the mayor has been very quick on trying to get us as much information as he can. It's just, we're down to me and Dan, and that's so we just haven't had a chance to go through everything with a fine tooth comb. And I want to be able to. I know that there may be some desire not to delay it, but at the end of the day, it's going to be on me to make sure that whatever you're passing is legal. And at this point, I don't know that I can say that everything we have in here is where it needs to be. So I don't mean to submarine the process, but I do want to be frank with you and tell you, I can't guarantee that we're where we need to be with all of the fees because we just haven't had time to track them down. And that's not for lack of effort. I can promise you that, but it's just a reality. So just want to be honest with you.
For 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'd be good with that. Some of these increases are fairly big and I want to make sure that we're not, we need to stay within some guidelines. So I'm good with if we can wait 2 weeks. Would that be good for you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
The 16th.
16.
That'd be great.
Let me make sure
We're,
that's
we're
correct.
still significantly less than
Yeah,
other communities.
I'm not-
Significantly.
absolutely. I'm not anticipating that would be that there would be a huge legal obstacle.
We're okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. We want to be okay.
Okay, no.
Need a motion on the tabling?
Yes, please.
I motion to table resolution 2024-25 to supersede resolution 2022-01, amending the fee schedule until March 16th,
April.
April 16th. I apologize.
Second,
All in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, I.
Motion passes. Okay, we have resolution 2024-33. It's for a resolution for one reading of ordinance 1063.
Can I speak to that?
Yeah,
Ready to come up?
yeah.
I'm sorry, which one are we on?
You want to name and
33.
Mary Lateau. Nice to be here. Nice to see that you guys all get along really good and enjoy what you're doing. So that's nice to see. And you know why.
I do. I got the t-shirt.
You got the picture. Oh, gosh. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. Maybe I got up here too soon. Well, one of my questions was, my biggest question is actually on the ordinance 1062, which is the next one. But the emergent,
discussion of the flood ordinance
uh,
1062.
oh, no, that's salaries and benefits.
Okay,
So 2024-33, can you tell me what that is? Which one is that?
that's for one reading.
1063,
An ordinance.
which one does that cover?
That should be the next one, the next item. It's a single reading of that next item.
Okay, so we are talking about salaries and benefits.
Correct, but
Okay.
we're just right now, we're only talking about a single reading. of the
Okay,
ordinance.
but
We're not-
my question is, why are we only doing a single reading? Why has it become an emergency resolution?
Because the union agreement expired last year. We've been running without a CBA in place since November 1st. And the wage increases are actually back to that day. And we're actually needing to get caught up with what we owe the city staff.
Okay, so basically you're playing catch up because
Correct.
it didn't get done in the fall.
Right,
Okay,
correct.
okay. I do have a question on the next one, so do you want me to, shall I stay here?
Let's
Well,
finish this. Don't run away, just
Okay.
wait there, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so it has been discussed, just so council's aware. So our code does say that we have to find an emergency. It has to pass by 2/3 council. Obviously, with 3 folks here today, that means all 3 of you would need to know. Yeah, so I think it's 2. Yeah, so apparently I can't do math. So but yeah, so we just need it would need to pass a resolution so that we can combine the 2 readings.
I move to approve resolution 2024-33, approving the emergency reading of ordinance 1063.
A second.
All in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, I.
I think,
Motion passes.
sorry,
Okay.
is it
But
3?
Ordinance 1062, that's the one you want to make a comment on.
Sorry. So I think what happened there was, it looked like the motion to approve is on the actual cover sheet was actually said ordinance 1063, but it's actually 1062.
Right, right.
So we probably should do that again.
Right.
Okay, I move to approve resolution 2024-33, approving emergency reading of ordinance 1062.
There's a second.
I second.
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, I.
Motion passes. Okay, ordinance 1062. Any discussion? You have a comment on that? You had a comment on that? I got a question.
well, not until you get to number 3,
Number,
because you're not there yet, right?
Yes, we're there.
we're
You're
there,
there. Oh, I'm sorry.
we're there.
Okay, you're just so fast. What can I say? Okay,
Tell us your name and.
okay, Mary Lateau.
Okay.
And it's nice to be here with you guys tonight, but I do have some questions on the salaries. I did my own spreadsheet just because that's what I do, finances, so it was easier for me to throw it all into a spreadsheet. And I have to say that on this page, which you've got your salaries, the red total down here is incorrect, just FYI. It should be 863,221.15. And you've got 1,008,482.39. Anyway, double check that several times because I don't want to misspeak, but that number is off. But my question is, I mean, I understand because we have union people, you're obligated to bump up pay for a certain percentage, or you guys can decide that percentage usually. But my biggest question is, why is there such a big bump up for the clerk treasurer? $18,571.
Which one?
The city clerk treasurer. Salary was 79,428.18, and it's
Right.
gonna go to 98, which is an 18,000.
That actually looked at an average based on neighboring communities and an average of the highs and lows of neighboring communities for that position.
Okay, and when you talk about neighboring communities, are you talking communities our size? Because you have to look a lot. I did some of that today. And to find a community our size, it was not easy to do. So you can't look at Prosser, you can't look at West Richland. You've got to look at communities our size.
We're, you know, and we're hiring the summit level of expertise. And they have the same options. I mean, we had a treasurer live here and went to West Richland for a horrendous pay increase.
Oh, trust me, I know that. And
Right.
she was a tremendous loss.
Right, and we've had, but no, we looked at, I probably looked at. Well, all the neighboring cities, clear up to the Yakima Valley, Clayton, Natchez, Royal City, Mattawa, Connell.
But those towns are all bigger than here. So that's what I'm
You
saying.
know, Connell slightly bigger, the Royal Cities,
It is, and
Royal City's smaller, Mattawa smaller.
yeah, Connell is definitely bigger, almost twice the size as far as population goes. Granger is just slightly more.
Right,
But I tried Dayton, they're smaller than us, but that, as you can attest to, I was always the money watcher when I was on the council. Still am, because I don't want to see our city. I think we've been spending a lot of money. I've been reading the minutes. Just to stay up on stuff, and I know there's things you have to purchase as a city, but I also know that we've been purchasing a lot. 2 new trucks last month or the month before. I get that. I also know that sometimes it's easier if you spread them out a little bit, so you're not spending quite so much. I know you've got a splash pad on your in your mind to do, which I have to say, I take offense to some of the minutes who said that we had promised a splash pad in the past. We never promised it. We said we would look into it and we would hope to do it, but we never promised it to the community. It would be a wonderful addition. I think it'd be awesome if we can do it, but I think we also have to watch the money we're spending. We just hired a planner. We've hired a building inspector. You've got all these new positions with a lot of money. And I know we were paying out contracting otherwise, so I understand the money was going out one way. Now we've hired them, so therefore you're paying benefits. And that doesn't even, the benefits aren't even included in this salary.
right.
So
The building inspector is more than self-funding. We no longer have to contract that services that we've been paying for. Most of the costs, the planning director is expense and charged out in fees to the builders.
right.
You know, they're really not, they're overhead items, yes, but we also have income coming in to offset them.
Understand, but again, these fees here do not include benefits, and benefits are costly. They're very
The
costly.
benefits are.
So I'm voicing my objection for you to bump the clerk treasurer salary up $18,000. I don't see that as being reasonable. At least not all at once. If her salary is not where it should be, then raising it up, okay, but that much of a bump, I don't agree with that. So I'm just letting you know, I have an issue with that one. You're also bumping up the foreman inspector, which was a lead tech, $12,000. Granted, it looks like he's going to a foreman position instead of just being a lead tech. So I'm assuming that's why that got bumped up quite a bit. But that's still quite a bump for a small town of Benton City, where we still need to watch our dollars so that we can do a splash pad and not hurt our citizens and having to tax them more or asking them to put out a levy, which you're also looking to build a new city hall. A grant's not going to pay for all of that. So therefore, you're going to be asking citizens to be either putting in money or hopefully you've got a plan.
The goal in City Hall is not to have city staff funding it. We have plans in place. You may not be aware of. You want to come and visit with me in City
Oh,
Hall?
I'd love to.
We'll talk.
Check it
about
out.
But we have some unique plans in place to do that.
Okay, and you
Yeah,
can't
our
share
goal is
that.
not to burden the taxpayers with the cost of that.
Okay,
We can't do it. I mean, we get, our property taxes are $228,000 a year. That's all we receive. That's why we have the fee schedule we're looking at. And most of the fee schedule literally impacts developers and builders, literally.
oh, I understand that. I looked
Yeah.
through that too, and
You know,
there are some that have definitely
the
increased a
the
lot.
dynamic we don't have is our rates. We're having a rate study come down. I don't know the results of that, but whatever that comes in at is going to present some problems for compliance. Okay.
Okay.
And so you know, 98 grand is far less, substantially less than what our clerk treasurer asked for.
That you're,
It's substantially less.
than what she asked for
Yes.
when she hired on. I'm assuming.
No, when this came to discussion.
Oh, well, that's exactly.
And we run the risk of, we're in a pretty competitive labor market. Yes, you're right, we can't compare, but we're also, as you're very much aware, in a very dynamic, competitive labor market.
I understand that, but I work for a CFO company, so we do CFO work for other businesses. I know what the salaries are out there. That is a really huge salary, I have to tell you, and I don't know the quality of her work because I never was part of the city. Since she's been here, I've heard complaints at the beginning, none substantiated, so I'm not gonna say any more than that. But I know that you were talking about Stephanie, who went to West Richland,
Right.
and she did everything. She did planning. She did everything in the office. She pretty much ran the office. And now we contract all of that out, or we have employees who now do that work. She worked her tail off for the city. I don't know what our city clerk is doing right now, but that's your business because she's your employee, but I am objecting to that big of a bump in pay. So there you go. Thank you so much for listening to me.
And I can clarify the distinction, I think, between the numbers. The numbers that are in black count for both the red and the blue, because those weren't changed before or after. So that was why it's kind of hard to see there, but that one, it's the 120 and then the 5541 and then the 19720. Those would be the distinction, but it's hard to see that those would count for the red. But anyway, just wanted. Sherry would get a hold of me if I didn't clarify. So.
That makes more sense.
Does any of the council members have any questions when it comes down to this motion?
No questions.
I'll make the motion. I move to approve ordinance 1062. Approving the salaries and wages of, for 2024.
A second.
All in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, I.
Motion passes. Um, we also have a request because we did not respond. I don't know, we want to take this part of this question to executive session or do it here, Eric?
I think she put it on for open session, but obviously she's not here right now, so I don't know if, I mean, I can, it's certainly a legal issue that we can discuss in executive session, so I would prefer that,
Okay,
but
I prefer that she be here.
that would be also preferred.
Okay, we'll move that. Because any motion to move that to the,
I motion to table the consideration for retroactive pay of the city commissioner until the April 16th meeting.
Second.
all in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Alcazar, I.
Motion passes. We put the floodplain ordinance on here in case anybody had any questions or items for discussion on that. Our thoughts, we do have a hearing scheduled for next Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock in the community center. The notice went out to that effect in the water and sewer billing today. We had Bill and David were both involved in the meeting with Sandra Floyd from Ecology. It came away from that with what a fairly good understanding, Bill, or the critical point of it is if we don't act and pass the ordinance we have submitted, FEMA will step in and will cancel all the flood insurance that's being underwritten in town and will cease offering any assistance in the event of a disaster. Like Dave said, it's like, dang if we don't, dang if we do. I sent everybody in the council a notice of Miss Floyd wanting to work with us later this week on Thursday or Friday in a discussion. And Diana, you said you can make that.
That's this week. I thought it said the 15th.
No, the one I
Or
thought I
22nd.
forwarded out was April 4th, 10:30 to noon, or 3 to 4:30 in the afternoon, Friday the 5th, at 1 o'clock to 2:30. I thought I sent that out. With well, one I sent out was, she sent a doodle out. I thought I'd sent that out.
Yeah, I have it, but I thought the dates were the next
Mhm.
week. Yeah, I'm seeing Monday, April 15th. Tuesday, the 16th. Wednesday, the 17th, Monday, the 22nd. I don't see any for this week.
Okay. Excuse me. That was Angie Sanchez. That was a different one. Okay. That's the rate request. And I'll send that notice now. That's from FCS on the rate increase for the rate study for water and sewer. But I did send out Sandra Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. None of those dates. They're all during the daytime,
Mhm.
and that doesn't work.
You make any of those, Bill?
That's what I'm looking up now. I just found that email.
Jessica, how did you put an X in there? Cause I
I
clicked
just declined them all.
decline, okay.
Okay. If you're available for that, if you're also be able to come on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, that would be helpful. On new business, we'll get to Nathan here in a second. We had down here, and we had a little coffee shop down here that Brickers have. We had a request to refund their building permit fees and that. And it's not in, there's nothing in the code that allows a refund of a building permit fee that's been paid. I said we proceed based on what the council wishes to do with that. They've opted not to do the work.
Oh, they just opted not to, they pulled the permit and never
They
did the work.
pulled the permit. We did some studies and some work on the permit. We have spent some staff time on the permit. But now they're requesting refund because they're not going to do the work.
Their connection permits. So it's a water and sewer connection permit,
Mhm.
which it's Revival on a Cup. Brooker owns the property.
We're going to come up here.
Yeah. So it's Revival on a Cup is a little coffee stand that's right there on Brooker's property. So Brooker owns a property. Joshua, who owns the Revival on a Cup stand, they purchased connection fees for water and sewer. And there's some debate about what's going to go in. It's a commercial property right there, right? So Brooker is looking at moving forward with a couple other options as well. And so they haven't done any connections so far. So they were thinking of going a mobile unit. So they were looking at paying the connection fees because they're a stationary stand, and the health department requires now for you to have potable water to be hooked up to the water. So they were going to work with Brooker in order to make that happen. He was looking at doing a couple other connection fees. They also have a mobile stand. So because the plans haven't been defined as what's going on with the property, they were requesting a refund on their connection fees. And so when that property goes to move forward, Brooker would be basically making those connection fees.
So did they purchase or did they
They purchased the permit. They haven't done anything.
did they get a building permit and then they pay their connection fee? Is that-
Well, so it's just a straight water connection fee permit and a sewer connection fee permit. So there's no building permit actually in there. It's a water and sewer connection fee that they paid. Sewer is available for on the backside of the property, so there's no right of way interaction. You know, the water would have required a right of way alteration, which we just haven't gotten to that point where that was gonna happen.
Yeah, I would need to do some research, but I'd be concerned that because we incur the liability after we issue the permit. And so that's something we'd want to be careful about because the risk is we've already been exposed to the risk at this point. So I just want to make sure that that's something that we would have the option to do. I'm happy to take a look into it. It shouldn't be a huge deal.
Okay.
Well,
I guess my question would be too, if we put time with workers or city clerks going through that process, is making sure that we're recouping.
Yeah, that
that
could be
time.
gifting. So we'd want to be careful of that.
Right.
Could you
Talk to Dan in the
advise
morning.
us
Yeah,
on what we can do?
sure. Yeah, I can talk to Dan in the morning.
Okay. Give us an answer.
Sure.
We'll put that in your ballpark.
Yeah.
Alan, you had some comments about the no, Nathan, I'm sorry.
Yes, good evening, council and mayor. I just wanted to discuss the splash park. We've obtained some additional information regarding this grant application that I wanted to provide to council just to ensure we're still wanting to move forward with the full scope project. We had a meeting with RCO, the granting agency, this morning, and
Previously, I had mentioned that we were eligible for a 30% match instead of the 50% match that is normally required for a project like this, just based on Benton City's income and need levels. Meeting with RCO, I'm going to share my screen here if I can. Can you guys see the spreadsheet I have up here showing the full scope 20% match and full scope 50% match?
No,
It's
Helps
just a minute. There we go.
There it is. Okay. Before I get to that one, I want to show you a map here. Can you see the map called Match Reduction Mapping Tool?
Yes.
Okay, so RCO has clarified that this is what they use to define what type of match the city would be required for this grant application and for a bulk of our applications. The lighter green color, which kind of covers the northwest part of Benton City, actually heads outside of city limits. That area, any development inside that area qualifies the city for a reduced match of 20%. The splash park is right outside of it. You can see my cursor and where I'm pointing there. That's where the splash park is going to go per our current application. That provides no discounted match. So it would be a required 50% match for that development in that area. We have sent an email to the responsible entities at RCO asking, one, why the map is set the way it is. It doesn't make sense to us why you got 20% match in all of this agricultural area over here and require, and no discounted match, the full 50% in all of this residential area. So we sent that email out asking for clarification, hoping that we can get some sort of approval to get us back in that 20%. If not, I'll kind of jump over here. So this darker green down on the southern part of town, all of that area actually provides an even more discounted match requirement of just 10% if we were to apply for any development in this area. And of course, I'm coming back to our Riverfront Park project. You'll see that that fits within a 10% match requirement with the city, which would be a significant cost savings if we decided to switch gears and go back to look at developing Riverfront Park instead of the splash park up on this north end of town. Let me go back to this document here. So this shows if we qualify for the 20% match, moving forward with the full scope of the splash pad like previously requested, we would be looking at kind of your bottom numbers here. The total cost of this park is estimated about $820,000. That match of the cities would be $164. The max we can apply for is $500. Additional city responsibility would be $158. So your city cost for this would be about $320,000 roughly. If we do not qualify for 20%, we have to go to the full 50%, then RCO is only going to fund half of the project, which is $411,000. City's remaining responsible balance would be the other $411,000. So with this information in mind, and again, we don't have a verification whether we're going to be sitting at 20 or 50. The way it sits now, we're at 50. If we can get some approval from RCO, maybe we can get it down to that 20. With this information in mind, I want to confirm that council would still like to move forward with the splash pad application or would like to revisit the Riverfront Park. If you'll recall, we crunched our numbers on Riverfront Park. They were much rougher than this, but we were estimating we could do that development for the $500,000. And if there was a match requirement, then that would just be $50,000, 10% of a match requirement for the city's out-of-pocket costs. I'm going to stop sharing here and field any questions or comments you guys may have.
Was there anything with the flood, the 100-year flood that's coming into play? Would that jeopardize that down there, moving the splash pad down there?
So that was not an option to move the splash pad down there. It was just to develop that park. If we chose to move the splash pad down there, then we would be looking at much more than the 500,000. Probably, I'm throwing numbers out. The 823,000 for the full park costs, there was already quite a bit of infrastructure built there. So we would probably be closer to 900,000 to $1 million to put Splash Park down at Riverfront. Let me share my screen one more time because I do have the updated flood map as well that I can show you. One second. So this is the updated flood map. Blue is, can you guys see it? Oh, no, I gotta hit the button share. Sorry, get ahead of myself. There we are. All right, so you can see the updated flood map. Blue was existing, purple is the new areas. So outlining the park, it kind of runs right in this area. There is space kind of right in the middle of the park where there is no floodplain still. So that area probably could be developed. But again, if we were to, we'd have to do development of the park plus add a splash pad in if that was the choice of the council, or the other option is just develop the park at this point and look at splash pad for future project. Hate to put this on the council on such short notice. The application is due May 1st. So we would need some resolution no later than April 10th to get a quality application into RCO for this project.
I guess my question would be, what do you think how early would we find out about the 20 versus the 50?
I wish I had a good answer. I'm assuming today is Tuesday, by the end of this week, we should have some sort of answer from them. The email that was sent was pushing them to respond, knowing that we have an application due May 1st. So, I mean, we're crossing our fingers, but we're really at their mercy, but we're crossing our fingers and hoping that they will respond fairly quickly. I mean, in a happy-go-lucky world, they say, oh yeah, sorry, we missed that. And yeah, you can have a 20%, that's no problem. But we just don't know at this point. This was information that was just discovered this morning. So.
If we wait until April 16th, would that be enough to get the application in by May 1st? Would that give enough time?
Unfortunately, I don't see us getting a quality application in with that short time notice. This is a pretty competitive grant, and it is a pretty comprehensive grant. We also have to put together a slide presentation that would be presented to RCO. Looking at our last application for the splash pad, we were very close to being awarded. There were just a few minor things that brought us out of the top scores for that, and some of those fields have been removed. So there's a good chance if we move forward with the previous application, minor changes, which is what we were looking at doing originally, that would be approved. We've got a very high need level. Some of the things that we scored low on were future growth and expansion, which that's been removed as a scoring item for RCO. So with that, we have a good chance of getting this awarded. It's just, can we afford to pay 50% of this project if that's where we're stuck at? I wonder if we give them till the end of the week, revisit on Monday, and maybe even schedule and I don't know if emergency council meeting is the right word, but a council meeting to then provide the information and make a decision. If everyone would be available early next week for that might be our best option at this point.
I'm good with that. I don't want us to miss out on an opportunity if it's there or lose the ability to apply for this grant.
I agree.
Okay.
less amount of money that we would have to pay out, the better.
Well, we will just kind of keep our fingers crossed and hope we get an expedient response from RCO. And once we do, I'll notify city clerk to set up another council meeting about this specifically, and then I can provide that information and we can choose which way to move, whether we get a 20% or 50% match. I think that's the magic question. And if we can get that answer, then we can decide which way to go.
I agree.
Nathan, do you mind sharing through email with the council the map with the number and availability?
Yes.
The two shades of green. If you don't mind
Yeah.
sending it out, that would be very helpful.
Okay, it's actually right on RCO's website. So what I'll do, I think it's easiest just to send you a link to that instead of trying to snip it, because then it's an interactive map that you guys can go in and look at specifically. So I'll send you that link with some brief description on the colors, the shaded colors. So you have that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You
Hope you
betcha.
feel better.
I do. I'm feeling okay. Just have to be quarantined. I don't want to pass it on to anybody else.
Thank you, Nathan.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Any miscellaneous council discussion? Okay, I would like to have a 10-minute executive session to discuss our issue that you've been working on so diligently, Eric, and spending money on.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, and then one other item in that. So let's meet back at like 10 or 8 to 10 and keep it at 10 minutes.
Come back at 8.
At 8.
8 to 10, 8:10, 10 minutes after the hour, and keep it to 10 minutes. So adjourn at 8:20.
Gotcha.
That's not good.
All right. Show me how
There.
to make this. I can, right, but not.
I gotta call a regular session back in.
All right, they're just coming back on
I'm getting
now.
excited. Calling back into regular council session, April 2nd, 2024. Any further business? Who would like to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Wadsworth, aye.
Great eye.
Alcazar, aye.
Motion passes. Council meeting on April 2nd, 2024 is hereby adjourned. No, I'm excited about buying this place. If they're gonna grant us, it gives us 9